Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon just gets crazier and crazier with this recent news update. We're getting little bits of information from all over the place right now, but this is something I've been waiting to hear for a long time. Eurogamer Portugal interview confirms points from Mantine Surf are used to pay for Move Tutors. Man, that makes me so happy because one, I love the idea of Mantine Surf, and two, I've been wanting to hear about those Move Tutors for months now, and this is kind of crazy because we have had multiple interviews from different sources that are giving us new bits of information. As we can see right here, this goes back to the Famitsu interview, which hinted at Mewtwo being able to be found in the Ultra Wormholes. We recently had that confirmed by the Pokemon Twitter tweeting, yo, you can get Mewtwo in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and then that updated with, when speaking to IGN, game producer Shigeru Omori has also confirmed that Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon will be the final main series Pokemon games on the Nintendo 3DS. A lot of people started freaking out about that one because they don't want to have to pay $300 and then an extra $60 for the Pokemon game, even though it's a year from now, and I think it's definitely possible to save up and get your hands on a Nintendo Switch. People are still losing their minds because they don't want to upgrade just yet, but come on, let's face it. The 3DS has definitely run its life cycle at this point, and the hardware is getting very outdated. That's even shown in the IGN interview right here. With Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, explains Omori, we've tried to eke that out more and really push the system to its absolute limits. I think we'd even feel that with Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is why I'm impressed that we could get any kind of an upgrade with Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but they managed that, and we're feeling that perhaps this is the maximum of what we can get out of it, so we're really treating Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon as the culmination of our work with the 3DS system. This includes X and Y, this includes Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I feel that even for these games, they felt very limited, and they were able to get little bits more as we got into the newer Pokemon games with it. But yeah, guys, we need Pokemon on Switch. We need this upgrade, and then Pokemon is going to look better than it ever has before. So I'm very excited about that. But see, those are little bits of information. But now let's go back to this update that we have. A new part of Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon has been revealed through an interview held by Eurogamer Portugal. Within this, it revealed that the points you earn from Mantine Surf can then be used to get items, and most notably, have Move Tutors teach your Pokemon moves they couldn't learn in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. This follows on from previous instances of Move Tutors being added in enhanced versions, sequels, and remakes. At present, it isn't clear if the points are going to be battle points or if they're going to be a new kind of points. That is something interesting, because I think it's also pretty big that we get items through this as well, and maybe that's kind of like an intentional thing that, okay, if you don't want to like have to worry about getting competitive Pokemon or grinding the battle tree, being bad at it, getting better, then getting items, then getting better at the battle tree to get items to get, you know, it's just kind of like one of those never-ending cycles that you can't really breed until you start getting the items from the battle tree, and then you can't really EV train until you start getting items from the battle tree, and then you can't really battle efficiently until you get items from the battle tree. So it's like every little bit kind of increases, and then it makes it a bit more difficult. It is going to be interesting if the battle points will actually carry over, because Mantine Surf, I'm so hyped for this feature, guys. You have no idea. I love everything about this, and I'm going to grind so many hours, and it's great. It's amazing to hear that my time will not be wasted, because I could do this kind of like the Pokefinder. The Pokefinder doesn't really give you too many rewards, it just makes the Pokefinder better. Pokefinder was pretty fun for me, so I grinded that out for quite a bit. But I like that I could grind this out forever. I could just play this because it looks like a fun little mini game and then go for like some kind of point attack and try to outdo myself and have a great time doing that. But now that there's actually going to be rewards, and substantial rewards, like this is going to be used for Move Tutors, I'm really happy. However, at the same time, it doesn't seem like battling. It just seems like you're playing an extra little mini game. So I don't know if they're going to add that into the battle points. If they did, it would make things a lot more nice, because then I could buy battle tree items. I could also buy all the battle items I needed through Mantine Surf, and then get all the Move Tutors to thus make myself more competitive, or maybe even get the items separately, because then it could be a little awkward, like, oh, what if I'm grinding up battle points, but then I can't use Move Tutors to get the battle points, or vice versa and stuff. So it feels like they might combine the point system, but since Mantine Surf isn't battling, not really sure what to make about it. At the end of the day, though, items through Mantine Surf That's exciting. Or maybe the Mantine Surf points will be used for the Mega Stones from the Pokebank Pokemon. So I do think it would be best if they combine the points, but it kind of doesn't thematically make sense. But then that could just be a nitpick. It's like, oh, Mantine Surf doesn't have battling, therefore it shouldn't have battle points. It's like, yeah, but I mean, battle points just kind of like the secondary currency that you can buy items. I'm really hoping that we can get like the full gambit of items, if not more or different items. So I'm hoping that there's going to be like a lot of different outlets. I keep saying hoping and hopefully, and I don't want to kind of repeat myself that much, but I'm also looking forward to an enhanced festival plaza that maybe those festival points actually do something. Also, I hope I can directly transfer my points from Pokemon Sun and Moon into Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because I want there to be like better items I can purchase with these tens of thousands of points I have from the global missions. And I'm also wondering how global missions are going to make a return. Are they going to be difficult in the beginning and then stupidly easy? Is there going to be more balance with them? Are they not going to be brought back at all? Are there going to be better ways of earning points that can be like solo player? You know, if I can single player the Festival Plaza, even though this is supposed to be a big community hub, but I would like to play mini games. It feels like a carnival. I would love to do like on the Pokemon website. Actually, let me go and pull that up. On the Pokemon Trainer Club, you have these mini games that actually give you Pokecoins, which you can use for like the TCG and stuff. So that's pretty cool that you have like all this extra currency that you can still get fun things out of. But yeah, I'd like just a handful of stupid mini games I can play in the Festival Plaza that earn me festival tokens, and then I can use that for getting the items through that you could get through Battle Tree or other items. You know, I'd like to be able to buy PP ups like that. I'd like to be able to get rare candies easier. I'd like to be able to get potentially Master Balls through this. I don't like that it's only through gambling and that it doesn't even cost you festival coins to be able to do the lottery and stuff. I'd like to use my festival coins to buy extra lottery tickets every day. But as it stands right now, it's like, yeah, you can't really use all the items. It's very basic stuff like Pokeballs. I know you can get like the secret item as a PP up. That's once per day. I would prefer it to be more like the Pokemiles, you know. Just make festival coins work like Pokemiles. Give us an extra way that isn't tied to multiplayer, because if people aren't using them, if you aren't like during prime time, you know, if you aren't playing the Festival Plaza at a good hour, then you're not be able to grind points at the maximum, which is kind of unfortunate. So I'd like to see that work out a little better, and maybe it'll be the same points. You know, maybe festival points will just kind of turn into fun points. So you could just Mantine Surf for the fun points. Maybe, I don't know, could the currency even come from the Alola Photo Club? Like, that'd be pretty nice if you take, like, enough amazing pictures, or if you just grind it out and you get rewarded with points that way. I think that could be a pretty neat feature as well. So there's a lot of cool things. I just like things collapsing in on itself and then rewarding you in the end. And now let's actually talk about the Move Tutors, because I am very excited about where these Move Tutors could go, because now it's just like breathing life, or not even breathing life, but just enhancing all of the Pokemon from the 7th generation. We get new movesets for them, and they might be even more competitively viable. One I remember a lot was that when we had Florges. Florges getting access to the Synthesis and the Giga Drain was pretty cool, because that's going to be sustain on an already tanky Pokemon. You can kind of work it around in some different ways by like maxing out its hit points and defense, using its high special defense, using Calm Mind, and now you have sustain. You can Giga Drain into Moonblast, so you have sustain, extra coverage, and damage. So I'm looking forward to that on a lot of Pokemon, and I remember that while I was making moveset guides, I don't remember the individual Pokemon, but I was like, okay guys, when we get the new Move Tutor, this Pokemon has a chance of getting this move, and it's going to be awesome. Also, making it to where we didn't have Move Tutors in Pokemon Sun and Moon, so if you were doing some breeding in the earlier generations, you would have to go back, get the Pokemon there, and then bring them up. I think Last Resort's going to be a big one, because now the Pokemon that in the 7th generation didn't get access to Last Resort, they have the opportunity for that. And also, all the previous generation Pokemon, instead of having to breed that Pokemon in Oras, train it in Oras, and then get Last Resort in Oras, we can move it up, and that's going to be pretty good. Also, the Move Tutors were very cheap in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I was very happy to see that, you know, if you wanted to spam Move Tutors, you could easily do it. So I'm hoping that the Mantine Surf points just add up really quickly, and then you can just have, you know, dozens of Pokemon getting dozens of moves, and it's not really going to hurt that much, because it's fun playing Mantine Surf, fun grinding for the points, and then you're rewarded pretty naturally. You know, I don't want to force the grind. I don't want it to be like that, but that's going to be something big. And then also, we have to look at potential for new Move Tutors. That's why I had this right here, because one thing I've been wanting is I am tired of Pokemon with Move Tutor gates. You know, like a Pokemon has learned the move in Generation 3, or it got it as an exclusive event one time years ago, and then you're not allowed to use that Pokemon anymore because the event has pretty much faded to obscurity and it's impossible to get a hold of that Pokemon. So one of the big ones, you know, Mimic. Every Pokemon pretty much just got Mimic, you know. By TM in Gen 1, all Pokemon you can learn TMs can learn Mimic. And then when we go into the Move Tutor, yeah, we have all the Gen 1 Pokemon, and then we go into Gen 2 and then Gen 3 as well. So, as you can see, the list goes on. It's like, well, if they brought back Mimic, that could be maybe too devastating. Like any Pokemon with access to the Mimic, maybe when we transferred or transitioned into the 4th generation, that was when Game Freak was like, you know what, we're about to do this thing called VGC. We're about to take ourselves seriously competitively. We didn't really have that before Generation 4, you know, with the moves not being individually based off of attack and special attack. It was just types that were based that way. So some Pokemon were just completely unusable. Just the way their typing didn't fit with the way that they were supposed to be physical instead of special or something. And then we also saw like a lot of other competitive changes going into new games. So maybe they're like, all right, Mimic's fun and all, but we can't keep this trend up. I would like to see Mimic come back, and then certain Pokemon that don't already get access to Mimic get access to the Mimic, because there's fun things like that Mimic Shedinja, and then also Pokemon that have already learned in the past. You can use them because of Pokemon Bank. Those Pokemon still exist, and now with Hyper Training, I could go back, get the Mimic Shedinja, and then bring it up, Hyper Train it, and now it's competitive. But I don't think those steps are necessary when we could just say get a modern Move Tutor. So hopefully they bring back Mimic. I know Power Punch, that definitely has to be coming back, because once again, I don't want to go back to XY, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, do all my competitive breeding there just to get Power Punch and then bring the Pokemon over. It kind of falls in with the trends of a move that was once a TM getting discontinued, ends up becoming a tutor in some kind of way. Power Punch makes a lot of sense. And then now we can see what new 7th generation Pokemon will get access to the Power Punch, because yeah, we have Buzzwole, Crabrawler. That's it. I know that Power Punch, it seems like Game Freak took that one back pretty quick. I don't know if that was intentional or not, if maybe they're just like, man, everyone's spamming Power Punch now because it's really good, so maybe we should limit it in the future generations instead of just kind of like slapping it on TMs and regretting it later. This could be a very strategic decision, because they're like, oh, if this Pokemon turned out to be really good, we don't need to give it a Move Tutor move that makes it better, or a TM that could potentially make it better. So by playing it a lot more safe, the enhanced version can now be used as a balancing tool through the Move Tutors. I'm really excited about that. And again, kind of in line with Mimic, I want to see Defog make a return, because as we saw with the 6th generation going into 7th generation, entry hazards are kind of a big deal, and I like that there's a lot of really good defog Pokemon out there that you can use. But as it stands right now, you know, a lot of people, they're spamming the Scizor with that defog, and then the Pokemon that naturally learn it or get it through breeding, not a lot of them. I have seen Tapu Fini, the Mandibuzz, it does work out, but then when you compare it to all the Pokemon that got access to it, pretty much like almost any, was it? Like every flying Pokemon? No, but almost every flying Pokemon got access to the defog because they could just blow it away. So I'd like to see that for 5th generation, 6th generation, 7th generation Pokemon, as well as the Pokemon that got access to it once and then never again. Because I think it would just kind of lessen the impact that we see out of a lot of the entry hazards. Like, I think Gliscor, you know, Gliscor coming in with that defog, it's pretty strong, especially if you're already like running a stally, tanky kind of thing. So if the opponent's trying to gain any momentum on you, you just wipe out. You bring in Gliscor. Gliscor isn't going to care about your Stealth Rocks, isn't going to care about your Spikes or Sticky Web. So just kind of remove all of that, and then you can reset with the Gliscor pretty nice. And if they try to set up it again or something, it's like, all right, now we're in one of those stall anti-stalls, but it could just remove the amount of like hate that comes from the defog. I'm pretty happy with that. And then just like, again, when we're looking at exclusive moves that were on events like one time or two, I want to see Extreme Speed also kind of get that Move Tutor treatment, or maybe just like exclusive Pokemon. You know, it's really weird that Victini almost never gets V-Create. Like when we had the Pokemon 20 event, so we had Victini come back as a mythical Pokemon when all the mythical Pokemon were being made events once again, but that Victini didn't have V-Create. So what happened with that? I would like it that if there was like this one-time random thing, like we have the Linoon event from the 6th generation, and then we also have the Zigzagoon event from the 3rd generation. That's how you get Extreme Speed. So what you do is you go Belly Drum, Gluttony into Confusion Berry, full health, survive whatever hit the opponent throws at you, and now you have +6 Extreme Speed on the Linoon, but we don't get to see that because the events were pretty obscure, and I think that could be something pretty devastating on a competitive aspect. There's just a lot of things I'd like to see come back, and also just make it a bit more easy. I've already done a video covering this, but there's just, it's just nice that I like that Move Tutors are coming back. We have all these moves being put onto 7th generation Pokemon, and this could make or break some of them, like Pain Split on certain tanky Pokemon. That could be massive. And again, I think when I was mentioning, I was like, Move Tutors to come back in 7th generation for the next game. This Pokemon, if it gets this, gonna be broken. I'm happy to see Gravity come back as well. Those enhanced accuracy sets are pretty fun. Drain Punch. Komodo with Drain Punch can be terrifying, Knockoff, and then it also just makes life easier. That again, if I'm breeding in Pokemon 7th generation, I don't have to worry about breeding in 6th gen, and then I can get access to all these crazy good moves, and now we might actually see a bit more competitive diversity just because it's going to be more accessible, as well as VGC also having access to this, as well as the full Pokedex Pokemon as well. It's looking pretty good, guys, so it makes me extremely happy, because I loved Mantine Surf to begin with, and now Mantine Surf is even more usable, but in a great way, because now it also helps out competitively, and then I just want to see this, you know, if it's not now, at least make it for the Nintendo Switch game, you know, Pokemon 2018, I don't want to see exclusive moves anymore, especially now that we have another console gate, so I hope that that gets addressed at some point, but overall, this little bit of news just makes me really happy, and I'm excited that Pokemon Ultra Moon gets even better off of just a little side update right here. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.